everybody. We're here with a wonderful course for you on KvCore. And our host today is Maria. And Lou, say a word about Maria.
Maria is awesome. She's worked with Gene Frederick's group, and she is knowledgeable of everything EXP. And I've gotten to know her a little bit on some of these. I've been lurking in the background and watching her do her thing, and thought this would be a great one to do again, because it's goal planning time of the year, Maria, and a lot of our agents, believe it or not, are not taking advantage of all the great tools with KvCore. And some of the stuff you showed me, when you had Carol last week, I didn't even know about. So why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about you and your background, how you ended up at EXP, and launch right in.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys. So I was in a virtual assistant world, real estate assistant for about 4 years before I got my license 2 years ago. So I had the opportunity to use multiple databases, and so now they really kind of come easy to me, learning how to figure them out, how to use all their features. But about 14 months ago, I decided to move over to EXP. And when I did, Gene was nice enough to let me help assist all of his agents onboarding. So now I'm one of the agents that help assist with KvCore and training with all the EXP platforms.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for this myself.
So we also have Judy's on our Zoom meeting today, Judy Bibbings, and Maria, you've helped a lot of her people so far. Judy's one of those great agents that when they come, people pay attention and follow her where she went. So we just thought this would be great again to have another session, have it recorded so that we can all assist all our agents just to make sure they're taking care, advantage of this great tool. So have at it. Let's go.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to start off in our dashboard. In our dashboard, we're going to see all the activity that our leads are conducting. So we're going to see properties that they are viewing, emails coming in, texts coming in from them. They can pull up a market report from our website. They can pull up a CMA from our website. They can ask us questions on a property. They can request showings from our property. So everything is going to pull up in here for most recent and get older from there. Now we can see on our dashboard, if somebody has been looking at the same property multiple times, we're going to see a flame right here. If they've saved it to their favorite list, it's going to have a heart. We can also see if they've been looking at properties on their smartphone, on their computer. We can email, call, and text them from right here. So if we don't want to have to sit here and scroll through trying to find recent texts, leads, whatever we're looking for, we can pull them up by category right here. If we go up to quick actions, we can add a single contact. We can add calls, notes, tasks, send emails, or blog posts. But I'm going to click on one of my leads and show you some information on their actual profile. So when we have a lead first come in, this shield up at the top left is going to be gray. And if we click on that shield, KvCore is going to try to validate the lead. So sometimes the email that they give us is the email that they don't use to sign up for, like Facebook and things like that. So we may not get any information. Other times we get the correct name associated with that email address. We get the city that they live in, the city that they work in, the occupation, age range, gender, links to connect with them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and it'll pull it up within a couple seconds. And I do also recommend that over time, every once in a while when you come in here, just click on that and run another lead validation, because sometimes people will sign up for new accounts and you can get more information from them. We can edit their name right here. We can change the status and the type of lead. We have a very quick snapshot of the activity the lead is conducting right here. We can edit the phone number, edit the email. We can set them up on a search alert. We can also use this option that says alerts up at the top to do the same thing. We can add them to a campaign, pause a campaign, remove them from a campaign. A market report. So if Matt wanted to keep an eye on a market in a certain location, we can come in here and enter in the name of a town, a zip code. We can even enter in a subdivision name and then how often we want them to receive that report. So if we wanted to, every 28 days, KvCore would pull from our MLS a market report and send it over to that lead. Seller report, if Matt had a home on the market, I could enter in his MLS ID, and it's going to give him updates on the traffic going to that listing. We can add hashtags right here. And then our summary, this is a more detailed summary than what we see up here. And this is all averaged out. So we can see that he's looked at 64 properties, mostly single family in Spring Branch. And it's showing us that he's looking at 3.5 beds. So some of the properties are 3 bedrooms, some are 4, and it's just giving us the average. We can also see when he signed up on my website, when he was last active, and where the lead was generated from. If we go to more details, we can add alternate phone numbers, email, spouse information. If we keep track of birthdays and purchase anniversaries, KvCore will email and text the lead on our behalf on both of those occasions. If we go over to new calls, if I was to click the call button, KvCore would call my cell phone. Once I enter my cell phone, it's then going to call the lead. I could then log my call, schedule follow-up calls. If we use KvCore to make our calls, it will record the call and add an attachment in here so we can listen to that recording later on. We can send emails, and we can also, we have an advanced email setting, which is kind of like a MailChimp setting. So we can add videos, we can add call to action buttons, things like that through here. Send texts. Our texts do have to be under 160 characters. Now, the only way around this is if we create canned responses, and then it doesn't matter how many characters it is, it will send it out as one solid text as long as we don't make any edits to this text. We can add notes. When I add my notes, I pin them to the top so I can easily find them over here. Oops, sorry. And then I can come in here and edit as needed. I can remove that note completely if I need to. Then we have voicemail drop. So voicemail drop is like slide dial, where it's going to completely bypass ringing our phone and just drop a voicemail. A lot of agents have good results with that. People kind of get curious as what that message was. They never heard their phone ring and they go and listen to the voicemail. So it is a good way to get your message out there. Core videos are BombBomb videos. We can attach these videos to either our emails or our texts. Right now, if we don't want to use the full BombBomb option, KvCore does give us 10 free videos that we can attach only to emails, and we cannot attach those to mass emails. So you can always get started with that and see if it's something that might work for you. Under more action, we can share leads, transfer leads, subscribe them, unsubscribe them to email, text, turn on or off behavior automation, try to find them on different social media platforms. We can create tasks and reminders. Now, transaction, this is only going to work if we use dot loop. I don't use dot loop, so I don't have this option. What's going to happen is if we have dot loop, there is an attachment that will connect our KvCore to dot loop. So if Matt was under contract, there'd be a box right here that I could click on. It would pull me over to dot loop to those documents. So I'm now going to go over to our Smart CRM. And we're going to filter these. There's quite a few different ways we can filter these. So we can filter them by the status of the lead, when the lead was generated, if it has a phone number, email, if it's set up on a campaign, if they're receiving market reports. But if we go down to property interests, we can filter these by the kind of property that the leads are looking for. So if you have a home that's about to hit the market, we can come in here and filter through these and see if there's any home in here that, or I'm sorry, any lead in here that might be looking for a home in that same criteria. We can always save these filters, and then we can quickly pull them up whenever we need to. And then we can also filter by hashtag. So the way I generate the majority of my leads is through advertising my listings as well as other EXP agents listings on Facebook Marketplace. So for instance, this property I had marketed over 2 months ago on Facebook Marketplace for an agent. and I posted it early in the morning one day. By the following afternoon, it was already under contract. So I had to remove that from Facebook Marketplace. So within less than 48 hours, I generated 169 leads just from this one property. But now if this home is still on the market and it had a price reduction, or if it comes back on the market, I can easily reach out to everybody that has this hashtag attached to their profile. And then we're going to go over to our listings, and we're going to go to filters. We can pull up all the listings on the MLS, just my listings. If you're on a team, there will be another option here that's team listings. And then we have agency listings. So these will be only EXP agents. If you are looking for a specific agent, you can type in the agent's name right here. This is still a regular search. So if you want to focus on a certain location, price range, you can do that. So we're going to find a property that we want to market and click on the property address. This is going to pull up all the information from our MLS except for agent remarks. So I normally would text Carmen, introduce myself to her, let her know I'm an agent with EXP, and ask for her permission to market her listing. Once she gives me permission to do that, I'm then going to text her again, asking for her permission to market any of her listings as soon as they hit the market. And then once I get that permission, I add her name to a spreadsheet. So I now have 50 plus agents that I can market their listings. I don't have to ask them anymore. So I'm going to go over to these 3 dots right here. And the first half of these options, I don't need the agent's permission for. So I could send this via email or text to one of my leads. I could save this. I could email or text this to every lead with a certain hashtag. So if this was equivalent to that 702 Cherry Ridge, I could email or text it to everybody. I can generate a QR code. I can print a flyer, and it's from Boost Property on down that I want the agent's permission. Most of the time, Boost Property I'm only going to use on my own listings. This is a paid Facebook advertisement. You can use it as just a regular listing, an open house, or price reduction. So there are different price options with this. I do know an agent who about 2 months ago had used this 3-day for $45 option before an open house. And in 3 days, it generated 90 leads and 50 people showed up to her open house. So then we also, if we have our Chrome extension through KvCore, and as soon as you come to click on any of these post to Facebook, post to Twitter, post to Pinterest, or Craigslist options for the first time, you will have a pop-up box asking you to add the extension to your Chrome. So once you have that done, you can easily post to any of these platforms. So if I clicked post to Craigslist, KvCore does all the work and creates the post for me. So once it's done, I just have to click publish, and it will now be on Craigslist. So the other way that I generate the majority of my leads is I come over to the property and I copy the MLS. I'm going to open up 2 KvCore tabs. And I'm going to go over to our lead engine. Now from our lead engine, we can create landing pages or squeeze pages. So a landing page is going to ask the lead to register before it ever takes them to your website. It's customizable, so it can take a little bit of time to create, and it only lets us add 1 hashtag. Now, an IDX squeeze page is going to take the lead to our website, to that exact property. A pop-up box is going to come up asking them to register. It's not customizable at all, so it's quicker to create, and we could add multiple hashtags. So for single property, I have tried both landing page and squeeze page, and I've generated about the same amount of leads from both of them. So I primarily use my squeeze page for single property posts because I can add more hashtags and it's quicker to create. But I do want to show you the features inside of our landing page. Both of these are going to ask to please select our domain. I only have one. We're going to start building. Now, if we come to our background up here at the top, we have a bunch of different options already built in. We can customize our background. If we click on primary MLS image and I enter my MLS ID, it's going to pull up the main photo from the MLS as my background. And we can change the type of leads. So if we are focusing on buyer leads, this way when they come into KvCore, they're automatically set up as a buyer. We can then go back to our property information and we're going to copy the property address. And then we're going back to our landing page. Right here it says hashtag. We're entering the property address here. We don't need to add the physical hashtag, just the characters after, and make sure you remove any spaces. Now on our property information, we also have a direct link. So every property that you pull up within your KvCore has its own direct link, even if it's not an EXP property. If I was to email this to somebody, text it, post it on social media, it's going to direct the leads to my websites, to this exact property, but it's not going to mandate that they register, and it's not attaching any hashtags to that profile either. So I really only use this direct link if I'm emailing or texting somebody already in my database, or if I'm creating a landing page. So if we go to our landing page, we have this option that says URL after logging in. This is optional. If we leave this blank, when somebody registers, they're going to go to our homepage on our website. But by entering in here that direct link, now my computer system knows where to take that lead once they register. Everything in here can be customized, so we can remove them or we can change the verbiage. We can even change the wording on our submit button. So if I type in up here, it automatically changes for us. We have the email is mandatory, the cell phone is optional. If I check this box here, they are both mandatory now. And with this link up here at the top, you can use more than just links directing to your website. So say for instance, I wanted to collect contact information for potential buyers, but then I want to direct them over to a preferred lender's website and have them start the application process and get pre-approved. When they enter their name and email here, it's still going to capture their information into my KvCore, but then if I put that URL to my lender's website here, it's going to direct them over to the lender for them to start the application process. So we can really direct this anywhere that we want. Then if we go over to our top left, we do have some additional options. So we're on our lead generation. View video is going to instantly start playing a YouTube video. We can have the video start playing and still capture the lead's phone number and email. Content hijack is not really going to require that we collect any information from that lead, so I don't really use that. Text lead, we can create a custom text code that they're going to text to our smart number, and then I will show you inside of KvCore where we can create the link that we will send to them once they text that number. Address capture, this is something we can use if we're trying to create CMAs. Then we can chat with the lead directly on Facebook. So these are options that are only available within our landing page, so I did want to show those to you. Now I'm going to show you how to use the squeeze page option. So I'm going to go to my IDX squeeze page. It asks to please select domain. I only have one. We're going to start building. Now in our squeeze page, we have 4 different squeeze page options. So if we are in our multi-property search, this is a regular search criteria, but if we come down to the bottom where it says options, we can now filter these by open house, just listed, fixer-uppers, short sales, no HOAs, waterfront properties. So we can really focus on whatever is a hot commodity in our area. And the link that this is going to create, it's never going to expire, so we can create a spreadsheet and start saving these. It's always going to bring up whatever is currently on the market within the search criteria. So I'll show you the single property in just a minute. Seller squeeze page is going to direct leads to your website where they can type in their address and create a CMA. Market report directs the leads to your website, and it will pull up a market report on whatever location we want to focus on. Single property, this is what I use the most. For source, this is really for you to remember once the lead comes into your database, where the lead came from. So some agents use social media. I just use FB, even though I'm posting it on multiple platforms. Most of my leads are coming from Facebook anyway. So for my hashtag, I'm going to enter that property address again. We're going to remove spaces and hit enter. Now that is our hashtag. Now, since this property is on land, I can create a hashtag land. If this property had a pool on it, I could use a hashtag pool. Anything that we're going to want to search by and filter through in the future, we want to add a hashtag for that now. And I'm going to add a hashtag FB, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Now I'm going back to my property information. I'm copying the MLS ID. I'm going to use that for my listing ID. And then it asks how many properties do I want to let the lead view before they have to register. This is a single property squeeze page, so they may only be interested in this one property. So I'm going to change this to immediately. And all I have to do now is generate the link. The short link will redirect them to the bigger link. When I post this on my social media, and I like to use Facebook Marketplace, so when somebody clicks on this, it directs them to my website, to this exact property. A pop-up box comes up asking them to register. Once they register and I capture their information, inside of my system, I now know what property they were interested in. I know that it was on land. I know that it had a pool. And I use FB because if we go over to our marketing autopilot and we go to our search alerts, I created a general search criteria for the area that I want to focus on, the market I'm focusing on. Medium house price, bedrooms, bath, and it's associated with the hashtag FB. So as long as somebody comes into my database with hashtag FB, they're automatically set up on a search alert. So I have our campaigns turned on. I know they're going to start getting emails and texts as soon as that lead comes in. My search alert is set up, so I know they're going to be receiving properties. Behavior automation is also set up, so according to the action the lead conducts, KvCore will respond accordingly. If a lead hasn't looked at properties in over 2 weeks and they start looking at properties again, KvCore is going to email and text them asking if they want you to pull together another list of properties and send it over to them. If they favorite a property, KvCore will email and text them asking if they want to schedule a showing. If they text, "Who is this?" KvCore would respond, "This is Maria Villalobos with eXp Realty." If they text back, "Stop," KvCore shuts off texting so we stay compliant. Our lead validation, we discussed this on that lead profile before. Our KvCore app does pretty much the same thing that our computer version does. We can't create landing pages through the app or CMAs, but we can add leads, set them up on campaigns, search alerts, all of that through the app. I showed you before that we could send out mass emails and texts. Those get sent out immediately. If we want to schedule a mass email, we can do that right here. This is a good use for newsletters to use this option, and it has that advanced email editor in there, just like MailChimp's. Then we also can set up our birthday and anniversary of purchase through here. So this is when KvCore will email and text the lead on our behalf on both of those occasions. And we discussed the voicemail drop earlier. Core Concierge is if you want to have a live person reach out to your leads for you. We're going to go back to our lead engine. We went over landing pages and squeeze pages. Get more leads. These are all the different lead gen options built into our KvCore. So we have pay-per-click Google ads. Facebook AI is going to create multiple Facebook ads, and the artificial intelligence is going to monitor those and keep improving as it sees what is and is not driving more traffic to it. Property Boost is that single property post that I showed you before that's a paid advertisement for Facebook, whether it's a listing, open house, or a price reduction. Make It Rain. This is also a pay-per-click option. This is the one that connects with our iBuyer program, the Express Offers. So once you're certified with Express Offers, if you want to start generating leads that would be buyer leads, they'd be Express Offer leads, you can set that up in here. These are all just supporting options that go with our advertisement or our lead gen options. So advertisement, social media, multi-marketing, things like that. If we're getting leads from an outside source, we need them to integrate directly into KvCore. We have our lead Dropbox. Now, when I was on that landing page, I showed you that we can create custom text codes. When you want to create the message that they're going to receive after they text that code, you can do that in here. Bulk imports, KvCore gives us the option to either import our leads ourselves or send them over to KvCore, and within 3 days, they will have them imported for you, and that's at no cost to you. CMA Builder, we just need to have a name and an address. and within 30 to 60 seconds, it will pull up a CMA. Pitch sheets, this is something we can use at a listing presentation. This is going to let your potential sellers know that you really know how to target markets. So you're going to create a pitch sheet. It's going to have the property address, the suggested price. This is going to let your potential sellers know how many active buyers are in the area, how many are looking at that price range and in that neighborhood. And then it brings all three together. So active buyers, that price range, that neighborhood. And then we have Millions Maps. So this is an app that our leads can search for properties through. We're going to be their only point of contact. We can see what they're looking at. They can pull up market reports and CMAs all from the app. The Open House app, we can use this on a Chromebook, an iPad, a smartphone. A lead comes to our open house. They submit their information. They are instantly entered into our database and set up on an open house campaign. We can host a virtual open house. So this is a video tutorial on how to host and conduct a virtual open house and how to market that. Property boost, this is what we discussed before. It's a Facebook advertisement, whether it's a regular listing, open house, or a price reduction. Now transactions, mine is not going to show anything because I don't use .loop. If I did, everybody in my database that's under contract, there'd be a box in here for each one of them. I could click on that box, it would pull me over to .loop to those documents. Then we have our web and IDX. So this is the back end of our website. If we want to add blogs, testimonials, service areas, custom pages, or edit our website, we can do all of that through here. Marketplace. This is the add-ons that I've been showing you plus a lot more. So all of KvCore's add-ons are located in here. Business Analytics lets you see where all your leads are at. You can check your source performance, make sure the agent is keeping up with their leads like they're supposed to. We can contact support. We can also contact support at this circle at the bottom right. And then we have a learning portal, which will direct you to a different website with video tutorials on pretty much everything KvCore. But besides that learning portal, if you go to your dashboard, we do have an agent success plan, which is a 4-week course that goes over most of the major KvCore options. And then it asks you to complete that same task so you can get used to using KvCore. But that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions?
I don't have questions. I think that was a really fantastic, but not even an overview, but kind of a mini dive into all the many things that KvCore can do.
Do any of the agents use this for their attraction with other agents?
Some agents do, yes. There is, one of the campaigns is for, specifically for agents. I'm actually in the process of creating my own campaigns and adding like bomb videos and memes and stuff like that inside of the campaign for agent attraction, but I'm just getting started with that. So there are agents that do use it.
I love that it was recorded so that we can watch it again.
Absolutely.
There's just so much there. It's amazing all the things that we can do.
It is, yeah.
Well, it's hard for me to follow. I see the value of all this, and I hear all these great success stories, but I can't do it like you can, Maria. I mean, you're very skilled at this. I mean, that's one of those things that you have to spend a lot of time on, which, to be honest, we talked about this morning with some of our agents. They need to spend an hour. I mean, why don't you give us a quick hint? I mean, you were a social or media or online assistant before. I mean, you had to learn these things, so you probably just had a time frame that you devoted so much time to. I tell agents to spend an hour or so a day on this and get proficient with something before they move to the next thing.
Right. I think really going through like this agent success plan, it does give you the major components, how to use those, and then it asks you to do the same task. That really helps playing around with it and just kind of be creative. Like those landing pages, we have so many different options that we can use those for. So it's really just how creative you are and how much time you want to actually focus on this, because it can generate a lot of leads. I think in the past 30 days, I can actually show you, I think I've generated 200 leads, I believe.
How many of them are good?
So I checked my conversion rate about a month ago, and conversion rate to the point where I'm actually connecting them with my lender, or we're actually going out and showing properties, I'm at like a 20%.
That's pretty impressive.
That's
Yeah.
excellent.
So in the past 30 days, it's 201 leads that I've generated. So, and for not paying for those leads, I'm just investing a little bit of time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is really an excellent conversion rate too.
The agent success plan, where do we find that at, Maria? I know you mentioned it.
Yep. Right on your dashboard, right here, this agent success plan. You guys have any other questions?
I don't. I just want to thank you again, and we'll probably want to revisit and some other part of the things. I guess my question, just as your onboarding specialty goes, what's the biggest thing you think agents struggle with on that maybe that you have to keep sharing with them or get them going? Is there anything in particular that sticks out?
I think that agents, they don't want to pay for their lead gen options, but then at the same time, they don't want to invest the couple hours that it takes to post a couple properties on Facebook Marketplace. And once they start doing that, they realize that it doesn't actually take that much time. And you can start generating a lot of leads. I know within like a month of me posting consistently on Facebook Marketplace, I had leads just messaging me on Messenger saying things like, I know you're a luxury agent, which I'm not, but would you be interested in listing my home? Even though it's not a luxury home, I have people now messaging me, just asking me to help them purchase a home. And they're not people that I'm actually generating through the link. It's just that they see these properties out there so much. So they're just assuming that I'm one of the top agents. So I think it's just agents that want to invest that time. They want to just kind of put money out there and purchase leads, which is fine. But you still have to invest that time. You still have to follow up, and you can't expect KvCore. They do have a lot of automation, but they're not going to do everything. I think the hardest thing is just getting in that routine of actually doing these steps.
Yeah, they want it all handed to them.
Mm-hmm.
They really do. We get that, and that's the fallout rate in the business, is because people aren't willing to work. And then you got other ones I know, because back when I was running Keller Williams, I mean, we did a lot of big panels with top agents, and then you got agents that they'll tell you they'll buy the market. If you spend enough money, you're going to buy the market.
Right.
And, I think KvCore gives you a balance between working it or paying and buying it, or a little of each.
Right.
And my goodness, I mean, from your experience and also being a new agent, and I got to tell you, as a new agent, there's a lot of them that haven't done the business you've done in the first year because they haven't taken the time to learn this stuff. But anyways, I just think I kind of lost my train of thought there when I was thinking of that. But as a newer agent, if these people would just plug in and do this stuff, they would find success in it. And they've got to do something every day to it. I mean, I personally think if they'd invest even an hour a day on marketing 5 days a week, that they eventually will bear fruit.
For sure. Yeah. I get up at 3:30 so that I have enough time to do everything I need to each day. So, yeah.
You're a dedicated girl.
Well, you and Judy could talk. She gets up at 3 too.
Because I can't sleep.
Well, Maria, thank you again for your time and all you do for us. And we appreciate you, and have a happy Thanksgiving. And we're going to, with your permission, reuse this video to help our agents so that we can get them plugged in.
Yes, sir. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria.
Have a great holiday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.